Top deck touring here tonight, so please let me hear a massive cheer for our sponsors, Back Road and Top Deck tonight. Come on! Thank you. Fantastic crowd. Okay, now we have many special guests to mention, so I'm going to introduce to you in a little bit of seconds. We've got a few special announcements today tonight as well. But first of all, a little bit of housekeeping. Okay, there's going to be food coming around every 15 or so minutes tonight, so don't to panic. Okay, we are responsible, we'll give feature as well. I am assured the bar time is not going to run out anytime. Thank you, suntan there. I am assured the bar time is not going to run out anytime soon, so please no panic drinking, okay? No need for responsible drinking, I don't really endorse that either, but you need to stop making the beers just quite yet, but please do treat yourself. Okay, guys, each and every one of you tonight. Please have attention, guys. We've got some special guests here tonight. We're going to talk to you in a minute, so please do a bit of quiet. We've got about 2 speeches, 10 minutes apiece, so please be quiet for that and listen up. And then after that, you can just get pissed and wreck the gap. Okay, so first of all, our first sponsor this evening, as you know, we have some special guests this evening. The gentleman who's going to talk to you now is a gentleman who's a personal friend of Stru's. He set up a company called Connections Adventures, who many of you will be familiar with from the past. Top Deck now own Connections, it's the same company now. He's going to talk you through that, a little bit of the history and the background of Connections and Top Deck. So please, put your hands together, give a massive flight sound welcome to the Managing Director of Top Deck Travel Backwards, Mr. James Newton.
Thanks guys, and a very, very warm welcome from everyone at Backrides and everyone at Top Deck. I know from just a few weeks ago we had a brochure launch with Top Deck, and I can see some very, very familiar red-eyed faces here, so obviously a lot of guys in here like a drink on a regular basis, and that's great to see. We've got some special guests here tonight, which I'm going to acknowledge in a minute, but I would also, before I do that, just like to pay a special thanks to a couple of the guys at Top Deck. This whole idea was actually Emma Jumps, a very good friend of ours who was our general manager. Very, very sorry to see her go, but she's staying in the family and flight centre. So this was really Emma's idea to bring it all together. We knew Stru was coming over, so to actually accentuate the relationship between all of us. But Charlotte Pinnick, who's our marketing manager for Backroads, is in Australia at the moment heavily promoting. So really it was left to the guys at Top Deck to pull this all together. So a big personal thanks, particularly to Jim Zambrano, because Jim's put all this together at very, very short notice and ably supported by all his sales and marketing team. So thanks, Jim. We've got some special guests here tonight, obviously Stru being the major player. He can't wait, I know, to get up here and say a word in a minute. But there's some other people I would also like to acknowledge. We've also got your esteemed leader from the UK, Chris Delaney, Managing Director of Flight Centres UK. Welcome, Chris. But I want to talk a little bit about a very, very special lady that's here tonight that some of you may have heard about, but very few of you would know of. And they say behind every great man is a great woman. And Jude Turner, as well as being a personal friend of Tig and mine. Where are you, Jude? Jude, will you come up on stage for a second? I'd like all the flight centres in the UK to see Jude. Come on, Jude, come up on stage. Jude, just a quick... Jude, just come up here for a sec, Jude. This is very unlike Jude. She normally avoids the spotlight. But Jude, as I say, is a very, very special friend of ours. She's been very, very supportive of Tig and myself coming over here. And when we talk about the very early days, I'm going to mention a few of the early days later on, a little bit later, and you'll understand what a romantic screw is. But just going back to the early days, when it was through, sort of 3 or 4 or 5 years in the Top Deck, I think it was, Jude came along and joined Top Deck. And I was asking Jude a minute ago, what did you do, Jude? And she said, well, I did everything, from painting the buses, to making the curtains in the buses, to doing the braces. So, for where Top Deck is now, Jude played a huge part, and give a big hand to Jude today. She's a lovely lady as well. Thank you, Jude. Okay. Just talking about the history of obviously of the families here tonight. Backroads is the most recent member to come on and join us, and I think the great thing about Backroads and Top Deck and Flight Centres is that there are all some commonality here of history. Obviously, Screw started Top Deck, but Backroads has actually been around for 22 years before we purchased it, set up by a guy called Bruce Cherry, and Bruce Cherry also worked for Top Deck for 3 or 4 years, so there's history wherever we look in this. I know we're talking about keep it in the family, and I'd like to think that you'll all think of us as family when you're selling. But I think also, I just would quickly like to say, without making this a huge sales bill, I really do believe that both Backroads and Top Deck stand up in their own rights as products that you should be proud to sell. Backroads has been quite unique in the fact that it's small groups, getting off the beaten track, unbranded coaches, etc. And I think it's a product that maybe at the moment that you don't see have a huge demand for, but I'm sure as time goes on you will find that there is a market there for it. It's a very, very good product. As far as Top Deck is concerned, we've got our largest product range out at the moment. I'm not going to go all through all of that, but I'm going to tell you something that was announced today, which I think you'll be very, very pleased about, is that for the month of March, we're doing a commission surge on Top Deck, and everyone in Flight Centres gets 20% commission. And 15% on any festival. So we've got a marvellous range of festivals coming up. We're fast in Valencia, of course October Fest further down the track, running the wheels, etc. That's really all I want to say in terms of sales field before I introduce the man of the moment, Screw. Some of you may have seen that there's been some clips running around in the background there. One of those clips relates to a show that was shown on ABC television in Australia called Australian Story, and it was called, I think the title of it was 3 Men and a Bus. And those 3 men were Screw Turner, his very, very good schoolmate, a guy called Graham Spylomas, who also has spent a lot of time with Flight Centres, and Bill James, who was the first passenger to sign up for a Top Deck trip way back in 1973. And of course, Bill James was also a foundation member of Flight Centre and director, and has written the book Top Deck Days, which I'm sure some of you will know about. But anyway, I've actually got the script here for that show. And I just want to read some of the script because it's going in the background. We've got no voice going on. I just want to show you another side of Screw, because he's going to get up here, obviously, hopefully, and tell you about how big Flight Centres now is and how many shot in there. But this goes back to another time in Screw's life, when Screw actually was a university student, a veterinary student at the University of Queensland. And this is, so I obviously asked Jude, when did you meet Screw?